Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is the third and final vlog of the month. Today's book was picked by one of my best friends, Katie. She has a TikTok down below which I will link. It's a book talk and I would greatly appreciate if you could follow her. I love her and her content, so definitely give her a follow. She picked The Silence Lies by Sophie Dyer, and this was a Butterfly Book Club special edition. It's very, very gorgeous. It comes with this bookmark that matches it, some reading prompts, and the art, which is this one. So some really, really nice stuff. I will read the synopsis so you kind of get a gist of what's going to be happening. I don't know what I want anymore. Revenge or romance? With 3 men at my disposal, it's hard to choose, but maybe I don't have to. So I think it's like a dark romance, why choose, mafia kind of vibes, which I'm very, very excited for. And the way I'm going to be doing this is each time I get a prompt, I'm going to come and update, answer the prompt, talk about the book. I'll try my best not to spoil it, but I will put a disclaimer at the start of the video if this video will contain any spoilers, just so you know. So if you do want to read the book, you do not watch this video, but I will try my best to not have any spoilers. And this book is part of a duet, so I'll be reading book 2 on Kindle because I don't have the special edition version of the book, and I want the special edition because it will match. I don't think Butterfly Book Club has done a special edition of it yet. They might, and if they do, I'll buy it, but I want the physical version to match this one, so I'll be reading it on Kindle. But with that, let's start reading. I'm very, very excited to start this. I cannot wait. It sounds so, so good, and I love a good mafia dark romance, so I think I'll like it. I forgot to mention in that other video, please read the content warnings before either buying this book or reading it. There is quite a lot, so please just make sure you read content warnings first, as some of these might be a trigger for you. So please make sure you check trigger warnings, content warnings, all of that before you read any book really, but especially dark romances, because sometimes there's like things in there that could very well trigger you. So please take care of yourself first and check them first. Okay, I got to the first prompt. It is, why do you think Serafina, I think I'm saying that correctly, is so full of self-doubt? Maybe because of the kind of, not necessarily her family, but the kind of world she's brought up in. She is brought up in a mafia world, like a violent world. Maybe she feels so like, has so much self-doubt because of that. Like, because she is a woman, typically in mafia and mafia families, they don't accept women as leaders, do they? It's usually the man. It's usually male leaders, and that's that. Maybe because she is the sole and only heir to her family's gang? Mafia? I don't really know how to say it. But she's the leader. So maybe her whole life she's felt so like bad about herself because she is the only female leader. And she feels like she has to do more, do things better, just to like, I'm really bad at explaining stuff, just to like be on the same level as the men, which is completely and utterly wrong. She doesn't need to do anything more to prove herself. So I think that's why she's so full of self-doubt, because of the world she's been brought up in, basically. So I'm stopping at page 77. I'm quite tired and it's really late, so I'm going to stop for the night and I will continue tomorrow. So I'll see you in the morning. Good afternoon. I'm ready to continue reading The Silence Lies. I will say that the start up to page 77, it is a bit slow at the moment, kind of a slow start. I think it's because it's kind of easing you into the mafia world and all that, but it's alright. Like, I do really like the book, it's just a bit too slow for me at the moment, but I'm assuming it's faster paced as you go, we will see. But I am still really, really excited. I've got the prompts ready to answer when I get to those pages, so with that, let's get right back to reading. Okay, so the second prompt is, what do you think the Rocco and Verdi families are planning? I'm not sure. Maybe they're planning to take over a bunch of families, not just the Bianchi, I think that's how you pronounce it, Sarah's one. Not just that family, but maybe loads and loads of families. That's why they're getting so much resources, because they want to take over loads and loads. Or they could be protecting something, but I'm not sure what they could be protecting that needs that much stuff. So we will see. I think they're planning to overthrow all the families against them, basically, so they can take over everyone that is against them, pretty much. I think anyway, but I guess I'll find out. Okay, the next prompt is, who do you think Giovanni is talking to? I don't think, I don't know. I know he could be talking to an enemy. Maybe he's talking to one of the Verdis. I think that's how you pronounce it. One of the Verdis, and he's actually working against Serafina. And that's why it's all secretive and that. Otherwise, if it wasn't, he'd do it in front of them, obviously. So I think he's either talking to Verdi or maybe someone completely new that's working with the Verdis. I don't know. It seems very suspicious to me. He seems angry about it too. Maybe he's doing it under like manipulation. Maybe they have something against him and that's why he's doing it, because he has no other choice. Yeah. I don't know who he's talking to, but I have a suspect in mind, like a Verdi, or so whoever the Verdis are working with that they don't know about, the one they're outsourcing, or some complete new like player in the mafia world, I guess. Yeah. So I think it's, I don't know, I feel like I'm really wrong, but at the same time I think I'm right. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure yet, but I guess I'll find out. Regular update. It's still a little bit slow paced. It's not as slow as it was at the start, but it's still being quite slow. So, you know, I still really love it. Like, I'm really interested in the story. I'm intrigued. I don't know, it just feels like it's quite slow in some places. Like, it's quite uneven. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it does build up a little bit, but it goes right back down again. So, I don't know. It's just a little bit too slow paced for me, but I'm still really enjoying it. Okay, the next prompt is, do you think Sarah can trust Raph, whatever. I want to say yes. I really want to say yes. I don't want her to like get her hopes up, trust him, and then just have it all completely and utterly broken. So I'm leaning towards yes, she can trust him. You know, he is on her side. He is helping her, you know. So that's what I'm hoping. I think she can trust him. And I really, really hope I'm right. I really hope I'm right. Because if she can't, then that's such a kick in the teeth, innit? So, yeah. I think she can trust him. I just got to the other prompt, which is, who do you think might be leaking information? I think it's Giovanni. I originally thought he was talking to like the Verdis or someone else, but now I think he is talking to Serafina's father. I don't know why, but I think he might be just giving him information about what she's doing, how she is, how good of a leader she's being, etc. I hope I find out the reason why soon, because it is still being quite slow. I'm over halfway and I do really like it. It's just really slow paced. I don't know if maybe it kicks up near the end and then it goes into the second book quite fast paced or what, but right now I don't think I'll continue to the second book. That might change by the time I get to the end, but currently I don't think I'm going to read it. It's just really, really slow paced. Or at least I'm not going to read it yet. I might read it if this becomes fast paced. But even if it does, I need to decide whether I want to read another whole book that could be as slow as this one. I might just leave it and see if the second book becomes special edition like this book. Because then I will buy it and then I will eventually read it. But I don't know. I might not. I'm leaning more towards not right now, but that could change, but we will see. So I got to the next prompt, which is, do you think Sarah's father's words have impacted her? And the answer is yes, I think they have. I think in some ways she still wants her father's approval, and him reacting the way he did and saying the things he said, which I can't get into too much about spoiling. I think it did really, really affect her, because although she's a strong woman, she's independent, she can do what she wants, it's still her father, and she's probably pissed off as well that he's treating her like some, you know, some small little girl, some little princess, when she's not. She's a blooming queen, you know? She's strong, she can handle her own, she's now the leader of the mafia of her family, to be Archie's. She can do what she wants. She doesn't need to call, you know, get his approval or his permission. So the fact that he's treating her like this probably stung and also pissed her off. but it impacted her because, you know, he's clearly never going to think... I don't know what to say without spoiling it. What he said, he's clearly never going to think anything different. And that hurts her because she knows what he said isn't true, but he's never going to see that. So, yeah, of course the words would have impacted her. So, yeah. Short answer is basically yes, I think they have impacted her. I just got to the next prompt, which is, how do you think Levi and Luca will feel about this? I think they'll be very accepting. They've already come to terms with both of them having to share Sarah, so I think they'll be okay with Giovanni as well. I would think so anyway. I think it'd be a bit hypocritical if they don't. If they can accept them both, surely they can accept one more. I mean, come on. What's one more? So, I'm hoping they will be okay with it. Now, for my regular update, I no longer think Giovanni is the mole. I don't know who it could be. I, at first, didn't think it could be Marco or Matteo, but maybe it is, or maybe it is Ruff. I don't know. I'm back to square one now. I really thought it was Giovanni. I don't know. Still don't know who he's talking to on the phone, but I don't think he's a mole anymore. So I don't know. It's still quite slow, unfortunately. I'm very close to the end. I will probably finish it tonight. I don't think I'm going to read book 2 unless it comes out as a special edition to match this one. Then I'll probably get it and read it, but until then I'm not going to bother. This was just really, really slow for me, and I do really like it. I'm really enjoying it still. It's just very, very slow. So, yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it is really good. It's very intriguing. It's got all those twists. It does have some action, but it is quite slow paced. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to read book 2. I really, really was going to, but then if it's going to be as slow as this book, I don't think I'm going to be able to enjoy it as much. So I'm definitely going to wait until it comes out as a special edition, if and only buy a Butterfly Book Club, because it has to match. So, yeah. I think I've only got one prompt left, so I'll see you in the next prompt. I just finished the book. Nah. No. No. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, the prompt is like, the bomb has been dropped. Show us your reaction in memes, gifs, or emojis. Obviously, I'm not doing that, but there's no way. There's no way. No way. I don't know what to do. That plot twist alone makes me want to read the next book, but I don't know if I can handle another slow-paced book. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I looked on Amazon and the second book is like 509 pages long. And I've got, listen, right, the My Sims and My Sims Kingdom game just came out on Switch, and I really want to play that, and I won't be able to read an arc I've got lined up and the sequel by the end of the month. So what I might do is I'll read the arc and then I'll read the sequel, maybe. I just don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't. The ending alone makes me want to read the book. But I might do the arc first and then read the sequel. But I'll think about it. So it's a maybe. Okay, my review. As you all know, I'm reading it from my iPad. You know the gist by now, so let's get on to it. This was an intriguing book that delves into the world of mafia and violence. It's a slow burn, and when I say slow, I really mean slow and not just a romance/smut. As I've been saying throughout the whole vlog, it was very, very slow paced. And I found myself just like wanting it to just get on with it, have more action, just more things happening basically, because it was very, very slow. And I know what slow burn means, but I was more thinking that would be more for the romance and smut, not the whole book, you know? So, you know, it was just very, very slow. Now, I did really enjoy this book. It was just very slow paced, a little too slow for me. It's still an incredible book. I just feel like the pacing could have been faster. I don't really know how to explain it. I think there's some parts that could have just been shortened or just had more things in it to make it faster. You know? Okay. The world is full of tension and suspense, and the characters are very well developed, each carrying their own burdens and hidden truths, which makes their interactions all the more compelling. It's also full of twists and turns. Some are predicted and some didn't. Now, as I said at the start of this video, I am going to try and not spoil too much, but I'm still going to add a disclaimer saying that the speculations I make during the prompts could be considered as spoilers, and I'll add a disclaimer at the start of my review saying that my review will contain spoilers. Now, when the prompt said about Giovanni, who he's talking to on the phone and all that, my very first instinct was that he was talking to one of the Verdis. And I was right. My very first gut instinct was that he was talking to Verdi. That was very, very obvious to me. But then later on in the book, I thought, maybe not, because his actions showed otherwise. But then you find out at the end of the book, he was in fact working with Verdi. A Verdi. I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not going to say it. Luciano? I'm bad at names. But I was right. I predicted that straight away. So, you know, I don't mind when it's predictable, but it's when it's too predictable is when it's just a bit But I think that's the only thing I guessed correctly. The rest I was completely thrown by, especially the ending, but I will say a little bit more about that later on in my review, but I won't spoil it completely. Speaking of characters, I absolutely love Serafina. We all know I love a strong female main character, and she is 100%. She's fiercely independent, stubborn and defiant too, which makes her all the more lovable. I like all the guys too, but my favourite has to be Luca. He's funny and open to certain things, if you know what I mean. If you've read the book, you'll know. Yeah, basically. Because of how slow this book is for me, I was debating whether or not to read the sequel, as I just said. And I am leaning more towards no, but obviously the ending, that completely changed. You can't end it like that and just say, the end. Fair enough, it says for now, but that is cruel. You can't end it like that. Because now the scales from me saying yes and no have gone from like that to like 50-50. So it's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about it. I'm going to read a book between. So I'll read the arc I want to read. And then after that, if I'm still thinking about the book and wanting to know what happens, then I'll read the sequel. So this is a 4-star rating because just the slowness really put me off. It's just very, very slow. And to be fair, it is quite a hefty book, but I just feel like it could have been faster. So I really don't know what to do about the sequel. I want to read it, but it's quite long. And 2, I don't want it to be slow because it will put me off. It is on my Kindle though, so I might read faster anyway. But we will see. We will see. That was the end of my review. If you have read this, comment below if you liked it, if it was slow for you as well, and is the sequel worth it? Is the sequel slow? Please let me know. And that brings me to the end of my reading vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and hit the bell notification to get notified when I post, and I'll see you in the next video.